that wonderful, open, and dynamic internet, perhaps the most expansive and liberating technology since the printing press, maybe more than that, is in fact under threat. We will keep it open and keep it free only if we act forcefully to make that happen. It's not going to happen on autopilot. And there are powerful interests in the land who would bring it under their control for their own purposes.
Because the net is a public good. It is not a private good. And it must serve the public well-being. And it's critical because of the change in the Federal Communications Commission that is moving towards, in effect, privatizing the net, which would be a calamity.
I think it definitely affect democracy. I think it definitely affect me in that people would be making decisions about what has thus far been a free flow medium of information.
Most of the people that live in this area can only get to the internet through Comcast. And when Comcast began to slow down traffic that wasn't content that they were making money from, it slowed down people's internet access or stopped people's internet access. That's as egregious as it gets today.
If you've already come to the conclusion, as much of the technical community has, that this should not be on the internet, and you already know that Comcast is doing it, then put a stop to that. You'll send a message to the rest of the community that you're going to come looking for them. When censorship serves corporations in their profitability, corporations will censor. They are required to, because they are operating on the rules that they must make as much profit as possible. You folks, the regulations that we have to control industry in the benefit of the public, those rules are what prevent corporations from really screwing us.
This isn't about hammering out a business plan for the internet. What's at stake is our freedom of speech and the exercising and safeguarding of our democracy. If any entity, for its own private interest, is allowed to limit or otherwise interfere with the free flow of information based solely on the source, destination, or content of that information, then our freedom of speech is violated and our democracy is placed in extreme jeopardy.
We cannot invite censorship or allow content to be controlled by corporations, because that is the definition of fascism.
Why would anyone oppose net neutrality? The real reason for opposition is not to solve technical limitations. The real human motivation is to seize control, to gain unfair advantage over others for purposes of profit, political advantage, religious advantage, or censorship of certain ideas.
I really am terrified listening to you all talk about applications which need to be controlled. There's no reason in the world why if I went to Ace Hardware, they should ask me what I'm going to do with my hammer I buy. It's just a tool. You should be able to use it for however you see fit. It should all be the same internet available to everybody with no content removed or filtered.
The internet is known as the information highway. To limit access to the internet would be like limiting access to the Autobahn to Rolls Royces or BMWs only.
And it's not for the left wing or the right wing, it's for both and everybody in between, because everybody needs to have a voice on the internet.
This is an issue in which you must engage, not just because you are innovators and business people, but because you are citizens of this country.
Internet freedom,